Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. You just sneaked in, did you? Okay, well, it's like that, is it? Right. Yeah, I've got my Star Trek 2. Finally. What we're going to talk about today is the biggest subject, definitely Star Wars collecting, reproduction. Not that kind of reproduction, stop it. Repro. Normally repro weapons, but it's a minefield. So I'm gonna argue with myself about reproduction. About repro, I'm gonna keep calling it reproduction. About repro, I know nothing about reproduction. Repro. Now, let's get one thing started. Repro's bad, okay? It is. No, well, as I always say, collect how you want. Definitely collect how you want. But for me, let's get this right, Star Wars, we'll go into other things in a bit. With vintage Star Wars, everything for me has got to be legit. The thing for that is, I'm not saying it's bad if you want to go down the route of that. You shouldn't, but I'm not going to say you can't. For me, collecting these is nostalgia. For nostalgia, it's nice to have the whole 96. I've got 95, so I still need that Yak Fest. That's a whole nother story. The 96 is. I didn't have 96 as a kid. I've never had 90. Well, I had the 96, obviously, before I sold the Yak Fest. 96 is the big thing, and obviously the figures, apart from a couple of figures, are not where it's last 17, maybe a couple of last 17. The money is not in the figures. The figures were made in their millions, so don't ever think that you need to overpay for any Star Wars figure and get them complete. But obviously, I never listened to my own advice, because I got the 96 whatever, and there's obviously certain figures that you need to get complete. But R2D2, because you're going to be paying. Look, I haven't looked to the values for months. Literally, have not looked to the tracker for months. I know Black keeps saying to me, "Do you do Star Wars videos?" I haven't done a Star Wars video for a long time. So this kind of is a Star Wars type of video. So there you go, Lack. This is Star Wars. This is majority of this discussion is going to be on Star Wars Repro, and that's where the basis of the problems come from. You look at any other. We're talking about in a bit the other lines that nobody gives a toss about, reproduction, blah blah blah. I said it again. So Repro with Star Wars is, if you, I'm not going to say proper collector, because you're all proper collectors. You're collecting, you're all proper collectors. But I'm not even going to name the certain groups on Facebook. You know those certain groups on Facebook, which I'm members of, and simply because I just want to get those figures with the correct weapons that was made originally. Now, if they weren't available, fair enough. Get the reproduction. And if you can't afford them, fair enough, get them. Yeah. But they are available. Yes, some of them are very, very expensive, but collecting things is to be patient, to find things as low as you can, not to go out and just buy everything. That's not collecting for me. Collecting is going out in the wild, even going on eBay, even hunting for hours, and your eyes, you're falling asleep because you're looking at eBay that long, and you're searching through things, and you're searching and searching. I mean, I get tip-offs. Luckily, I get tip-offs from people. Oh, have you seen this? So that's how I got my Red Bar R5, through a tip-off. It's not through me trawling, because I'm literally not trawling through the Star Wars items anymore, because I've got them all, apart from like the 4 weapons, 5 weapons, four blasters and the bow that I need, plus the yak face. But I know I can get yak face any day. It's not rare. Like I was saying, there's millions. Even yak face, there's millions of them. Oh, it's rare. It's not. Vlix is probably the only really rare figure. I mean, you talk Rocket fighting Boba Fett, you can get a Boba Fett. So yeah, Vlix is the only legitimately rare figure. Extremely rare. I'm going down there. Talking about Repro. There is the rub, that there is a limit for me. There's a cut-off point where I would get a reproduction. Now, disclaimer, I do have a vinyl cape Jawa reproduction. Stand solo. Yeah, I won't spit. I have one of those, but it is fully repro. The Jawa, the blaster, and the cape are all repro. The thing is, Stan Solo actually uses an ex-Kenner employee, so does that make them legit? I don't know. Anyway, we won't go into that bit of the discussion today. We're talking about the ins and outs of reproduction, repro. Damn. Repro, like I said, I want to have the original. I want the original figure. I want the original weapon. Yes, it's nice to have them complete, and I could just go and buy those 4 weapons and the bow that I wanted, but that wouldn't be a complete collection to me. Now, what I was saying about the limit, the limit that I'd go to. Now, as I said, I've got a vinyl cape Jawa. That's usually talking about £1,000 for a little figure like that. So I can't not justify £1,000 for a little figure like that, which I got one for £22. So it's in my it's in my collection. I know it's not, and it says SS on the back, and yeah, the people. If I ever sold the collection, people would know. I wouldn't even put it into the collection, so I'm not like that. I think the limit would be I'd get a legitimate blue snag. A blue snag is probably the utmost. DT Saber Luke I want to get, and the blue snag I want to get, and that anything after that, the Vlix I've got a custom. I know it's reproduction, but it's a custom figure. I've got a box full. Trash Compactor, Mr. Trash Compactor. Check him out. He's brilliant. I'm gonna have to put them together. I have not put them together. The thing is, I've just bought, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. I've just bought a little paint holder. I've got the primer, and I've got some spray. Now, what I'm thinking about doing is, I'll tell you in a bit what I'm going to do, but I think I'm going to, after I've done all this, maybe get the figures together and give them an undercoat of white, and then paint them. Do that as well. So that might be quite interesting, because I would like to get the Vlix done. So yeah, so that is the cut off. I mean, Vlix, you're going to be talking at least £4,000 for a loose, and a carded one, you'll be lucky ever to get one of those. It's like a Rocket fighting Boba Fett. You're not going to get one of those. None of us are going to get one of those, unless you're super mega rich. And then, even if I was, I wouldn't justify what is it, 100 grand, 120 grand these days for a rocket fighting. No, I'm not that bothered about it. I'm quite happy with I never had the rocket firing Boba Fett as a kid. I had Boba Fett. I didn't really know about the rocket firing thing until later on. So it's not a thing for me. It's like this. I think most of us didn't know about these variants until what, 90s, the 2000s. It wasn't a thing. I think until the internet came and that everybody said, "Oh well, this is a different one from that," and everybody started listing them and talking to each other. Well, that's different from mine. Yeah. So variants. I mean, talking of variants, I've got all my lugs here. I've got all my layers. My best bin layers. So they're all different. I mean, they're all different. I love the thing about the Empire Strikes Back and the best spin anyway is there were just so many different variants. We got the ginger, we got the yellow hair, obviously the brown hair, olive hair. There's just so many. It's like with the original look, they came in different colours. So there's different variants out there. I do have Repro. I think that is retro. Now, would you class retro as Repro? Because these are made by Hasbro, who own the name Kenner. So they're actually not Repro, are they? They do call them retro, which is good. I've got a Repro pop-up lightsaber for the R2-D2. Simply, I mean, I got this about 10 years ago, and I simply kept it just so I knew. I've even cut it. I don't know if you can see that. I've even cut it there. Let me see. I've even cut it just to slice it to make sure that it was, and it's black underneath. It's black plastic. It's just painted green. So that's definitely just to keep it. I would like one of each Repro just for reference. To be honest with you, I do have that somebody sent me the black layer blaster, but it is Repro. I hope it is. But this has got a really good backstory to it. The blue layer blaster. That's a really. I ain't got my microphone on. Sorry about that. I've got a really good story with that. I don't know if I've told it. Basically, Stan Solo. Back, must be 10 years ago. There was a Gumtree ad saying that it had 7 of these blasters. That his mum worked in a charity shop, and the woman that worked with him worked at Palatoy, and they got told to pick up all these. He could take them with him, and I was 50-50. I thought, why would you make that story up? And so I paid £20 for it on the off chance that I thought, well, I had the podcast at the time, so I thought, even if it comes out and it's Repro, that I will have a story for my podcast, which I did. I did a couple of stories, and I've since talked to Mr. Stan Solo, and he wasn't happy about but anyway, I'll digress. I won't go through that story. That's all water on the bridge now. I think we're friends, sort of. I think. So yeah, it's a pretty big minefield, especially with Star Wars collectors. Is Repro. Now, should you buy Repro? Yes, if you want to. That's up to you. My philosophy. I started out saying no, you mustn't do it, but who am I to tell anybody what to do? Who's anybody to tell anybody else what to do with their money, what they want to do? Now, buying and supporting Repro is not good. I mean, I've heard stories of, it funds terrorism, blah blah blah. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It funds somebody in their garage that's making these things. 3D printing now is just getting the way it's getting really, really good. I mean, the things that are coming from China are just unbelievable. Apart from the retros that were atrocious. So they went to Vietnam. Hasbro went to Vietnam and they're a lot better. So in the Star Wars community, it's very, very frowned upon to buy Repro or purchase Repro. But most people do it. If you're really serious about it, you probably won't. Like, I'm serious about it, and I will not get Repro for my collection. If I was selling anything, I was selling figures in the antique place, and I would not sell Repro. Listen, I worked for auction houses, and hopefully we'll do again in the future, valuing and auctions, be it anything, not just toys, not just Star Wars, anything, especially things like a painting. There's so many fake paintings out there that if they found that a painting was fake, they had to burn it, because it's the reputation of the auction house that's at stake. Now, I know this, you do see quite a lot, and it's usually listed as such. Sometimes not, but we know about those instances. But it's difficult to talk about, because I don't want people to buy it. I don't want people to have Repro, but I can understand if they do. Money wise, if they just want a few figures just for a display, I can understand that. That's fair enough. But for me, I'm supposed to be pro and con, aren't I? I could do with getting some. I did it on the podcast. I got a pro Repro guy and an anti-Repro guy, and I said at the beginning, no arguments, just have a good, and it was a really good conversation. I'll have to try and find it. I think it's still on Apple Podcasts. If you want to check out Talk Star Wars Toy Box, probably number 1, I think, episode 1. There's episode 0. I think they said that we were talking about ourselves. I'd like to do that again, but I think we need to. Podcast is still a thing, but I stopped podcasting when everybody went into lockdown. So I thought, well, people aren't going to listen to podcasts because they're not going anywhere. But they're still going. They're still pretty popular. I don't listen to them myself, but YouTube is the thing to do. And I stopped doing podcasts because it was becoming a chore, and I enjoy doing YouTube more. I really do talking to you like this. I really do. It's brilliant. It's my passion. I mean, toys are my passion. Star Wars is my passion. Now, it gets ups and downs. I mean, like I say, I've not done many Star Wars videos lately. If you can think of a video that you want me to do, please let me know. I will do it. I will definitely do it. I mean, I've been making this Lego AT-AT. That's Star Wars, isn't it? But going forward, I do want to do. I've been doing the corgis. I've been doing the corgis. I'm going to be doing the Batmobiles and the Batcopters. I think a Batboat as well. I'm going to do restorations on that. So I bought a load of stuff from Amazon to kind of set myself up to do restorations. Hopefully I can do it. I'm not very good spray painter. I did my Darth Vader's helmet, and I did it that many times. I just cannot get a smooth layer, but I'll take my time on it. I think I'll take my time on it. So like I say, I do have some repros simply because of if I'm looking as a valuer, that's another thing you've got to know about. You've got to know the repro from the good stuff. You have to know, because you cannot go say, oh yeah, that's okay, and then the buyer says, well, no, it's not. It's a repro. You've got to know. You've got to know. So that is one of the reasons why I do just collect repro, and the nostalgia factor that I want to have the thing that is from 40 years ago. That's it for me. No bias against anybody that does buy it, but don't. Anyway, yeah, so hopefully, I mean, ask your questions. We might reopen this. If anybody wants to come on, we can talk about it. That might be a really good topic to discuss. I need to start getting back to working with people again. I just like doing this, so I just I can talk about toys all the time, as you can tell. So yeah, moving forward, I mean, like with other properties, it's just Star Wars. Let me know if there's another toy line that will not accept repro. Action Man, you can Action Man, rubber hands. You've got to, not my hand. You've got to replace the hands. This things in Star Wars, you've got to replace, like an AT-AT. You're not going to have the same batteries. You're not going to have the same bulb in an AT-AT. You've got to replace something. The foam in the Dagobah, which you can still get very rarely. You've got to replace that. So there is some aspects of the Star Wars collecting that you have to replace. But in general, it's usually the weapons that get the most flack, and it's getting harder to find out if they are repo. That's why I need to keep up. I need to keep up with. I check Imperial Gunnery. If you are bothered about your collection and you think, oh, might be, check Imperial Gunnery. I will leave a link to that in the description. That is a really good source. So yeah, Action Man, you're fine to replace stuff. Action Force, it's a big thing to customize your Action Force. You actually, and I have done this myself, customize Star Wars into Action Force. The beta vehicles of the mini rigs. Inf 4 I've painted red and made it, it's red shadows, and it's one of the things that there are a lot of customs. And tell you what, if you're interested in customs, check out Action Force Customs. Absolutely stunning. But I cannot think of any other toy line that does not accept repro. I think because Star Wars is the top line. I don't know where toys would be right now, and they're not in a real good place. Put it that way, not in a real good place. We won't get onto modern toys, but they're not in a real good place. But where would they be if we never got the Star Wars figures? Where would we be now? I mean, I talked about it the other day when I was looking at those Mego Star Trek figures in Cosmic Toys. The 7-inch, I think they are, the Megos, 7-inch. So if Mego had got the Star Wars license, the Star Wars figures would be 7-inch, and we probably would we ever have 3.75? I mean, they only went to 3.75 so they could fit in the play sets and the vehicles. So they didn't have to make massive vehicles. We would never have got a Millennium Falcon, would we? If Mego would have got a license, we would not have got a Millennium Falcon. We might have got a play set of the chessboard or the cockpit or something like that. We would not have got an X-Wing. They might have got an X-Wing. We might have got an X-Wing. I might have got a TIE Fighter, but they wouldn't have been right, would they? Wouldn't have been right. So yeah, that's a bit of a what if, isn't it? I mean, corgi. Going back to corgi, which I'm doing now. I mean, look at the box. That is kind of. I'm not going to go as far as a holy grail. It's something I wanted again, and as a kid, and they've been really expensive. This wasn't very cheap, but it was cheaper than a lot I've seen. But if you look at the box does. I'm going to fix it. I'm going to glue it all back together. Now, do I replace the plastic? The plastic is not brilliant. The car inside is mostly meant it's just got a bit of scuff in there, but it's because it's scuffed against the window, because the window itself is the same colour as the car. Now, do I get some plastic and put that in, or does I keep it as it is? Now, the box is absolutely battered at the top. I can fix that. It doesn't look too bad if you hold it like that. But yeah, I'm going to fix that. So, again, like Star Wars, you can fix the boxes, but not. Say like there was a window. I can't think of a window box in a vehicle unless it's no, they're on bubbles. Anyway, if it were a Star Wars ship, and you'd be frowned upon to replace the plastic. Now with corgi, it's okay. With everything else, it's okay. Like I say, I'm gonna be doing the Batmobiles. Now that doesn't look too bad, does it? I asked for a beta Batmobile, and he sent me this, which is really nice. You can tell though, like little cracks in it, so that all needs replacing. That doesn't. The front doesn't work, so it does need opening up, and it does need its aerial. But I'm still going to open that up. I'm going to have to drill. Look at it. It's nearly mint. I wanted a beta just to test. Now I've got another one coming, so we'll see what that one's like. But I want to see. I've started the red piping. I did a red piping one before and it was really good, so I want to do that again. But I'm thinking, do I do red wheels? So do the red tyres? Or shall I do the wide wheel? I want to get a wide wheels. I would like to find a wide wheels one. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace, maybe in this one or the other one, I'm going to replace the wheels with the red wheels and then do the red piping. I want to get a box. Again, Repro boxes. Kind of, I don't know, they're not totally accepted because you can still get them. They're mostly battered boxes like this. I mean, I'm not going to replace that box. If I got a box, I wouldn't replace it. I'd try and fix it as best I could. But if I ain't got a box, I'm going to get a Repro box. Have I got any Repro box? I've got the Avengers Repro box, which I got from Vectis. There we go. Repro, selling Repro. I can't remember if it said in the description that it was, but it obviously is. They were customed. That's what they put. I still don't think I have. No, I don't think I have. Anyway, I would like to get. See, I want the window boxes. Now, I've got the original '66 Batmobile, which is different. It's not got the tow hook. I would like to put it in the original box, but you can put it on a plinth, but it's in a box. So I want to see it, basically. So the good thing it's got a plinth, so I'll probably get a Repro box for that. And I'd like to get a Repro box for this because I remember it, the specific box that I used to get this in. So I want to get that box. I would like to get the original box, but they are so damn expensive, and the amount of money I've spent on doing these, and hopefully I can do them. I just spent 50 quid on Amazon just for equipment, and then I've bought a few job lots of corgis, and obviously I need to get the source of replacement glass and whatever else it needs. The other one's got a Batman and Robin, thankfully, but if I'm going to do two, I'm going to need another Batman and Robin. I've got a Batman and Robin in my Batmobile and my Batboat, and the ones that come in. But if I'm going to do another one, I'm going to have to get 2 more. I'm going to have to get another Batman and Robin. Now, it would be nice to get the originals again, repro ones. We'll see. We'll see. That's just so nice. I don't really. It's good for spare parts, but I want to make 2 different variants of the Batmobile. But anyway, that's it. That's it. I'm gonna go now because I think I've done 30 minutes. I'm getting a bit thirsty, and I'm looking forward to doing these. And if it comes to fruition that I can do them, if anybody wants one, I don't know if I want to start selling them if they're refurbished. There's so many refurbished ones on eBay. Nobody wants refurbished, do they? They want the original. But having said that, I just want them to look nice. I want them to look different. I want to get all the different variants myself. So that's probably a way of doing it. So there we go. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. Hope you saw the enthusiasm in my face and my passion for definitely Star Wars. Corgi's always been a passion. It's Corgi, I think it was Corgi. Corgi would probably be before Star Wars. I know Matchbox was. Corgi's definitely before Star Wars because I had the Batmobile. Yeah. Not so much Dinky for some reason. I don't know why. So thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you like these waffles, please put a thumb up and subscribe. Put 2 thumbs up if you want. Depends how many you can fit. I'm going to go now. See you later. May the choice be with you.
Why is everyone so fucking stupid? Why aren't more people intelligent like me?